And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is about 6:58 a.m., Tuesday, June 5th, 2012. Peter McCook with you, your flight instructor. We're at Kendall Tamiami Executive Airport here in southwest Miami. We're going to just take this light sport aircraft, an FK-9, light sport November 153 Whiskey Papa. We're going to take it around the pattern for some touch and goes. And I'm going to just work on my pattern technique here. I've got my biennial flight review coming up in another, well, it has to be done this month. And so as an instructor, you get to sit in the right seat a lot, and sometimes you don't get to fly as much as you'd like. And you become a very good critic, but at the same time, you have to keep your own flying skills sharp. So there's an opportunity to do that, and I'm really looking forward to it. So here we are. I'm going to get the weather here at the field before I take off, before I taxi out. So let's go get the weather.
Class Delta Services. Class Echo airspace now in effect. The local airport advisory frequency is 118.9er. For additional information, contact Miami Approach Control on 119.45. Pilot operator approach lighting is available on frequency 118.9er.
Delivery combined on 121.7. All aircraft back all hold short instructions and assign altitudes. Notices to airmen use caution for birds and wildlife on and in the vicinity of the airport. Advisor, initial contact you information Oscar.
Oscar, information Oscar.
Miami Tower information Oscar 1053 Zulu wind calm. Visibility 10. Field class 1 2000, temperature 26, 2.24, altimeter 2988. GPS runway 27 right and runway 27 left, approaching use, landing and departing runway 27 left and runway 27 right. Tower frequency 118.9, ground clearance delivery combined on 121.7. All aircraft back all hold short instructions and assign altitudes. Notices to airmen use caution for birds and wildlife on and in the vicinity of the airport. Advisor, initial contact you information Oscar.
Okay, very good. And we'll go to 118.9er, which is going to be our tower frequency. We're going to go over to 27 right this morning. Although the winds are calm, the winds are going to pick up out of the west today, so they're just setting the airport up for western operations so they don't have to bother switching around later. Okay, so we're ready to go. Doors are closed, and I'm going to do a little brake test. Test the brakes once. Very good. And we'll test them again twice. Very good. Okay. Coming out here to the ramp of Air Sal, which is on the northeast side of Tamiami Airport. Coming out to the ramp, and nobody here. Sometimes the skydivers are running early in the morning, so you have to watch out for them. You have to watch out for everybody, but they're the ones you can anticipate with a little activity here in the morning. Okay, winds are calm. We've got clouds at 1-2000, so it's a high overcast here today. There's a lot of wildlife, as it said in the ATIS report. We have a lot of ducks and geese flying from the northwest down to the southeast. Sometimes they're around 500 or 600 feet, so they can get in the way. Okay, taxiing out onto the ramp. My temperatures are coming in appropriately. My cylinder head temperature is 66 centigrade. Oil temperature coming in, so I'm going to ask for the taxi over to do some touch and goes. Tamiami Ground Control, good morning. This is Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa, spot 2. Information Oscar. I'd like to taxi for some touch and goes.
Passport 153 Whiskey Papa, Tamiami Ground, runway 27 right, taxi via Alpha.
Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa will taxi to 27 right via Alpha. Okay, here we go. Tamiami is a Class D, Class Delta airport, so it's tower controlled. Tower opens at 7 a.m. Before 7 a.m., it is a Class Echo airport. And during when the weather is bad, it's below VFR minimums. It's controlled by Miami International. And when it's VFR, you self-announce as you would a non-towered airport on the common traffic area frequency. Okay, taxiing over to 27 right. And when the advantage with coming to the airport early in the morning is you have it all to yourself, or you don't have to share it with many other people, and that's nice. That's fun. That's like being on the golf course and having it all to yourself. for you golfers out there. Okay. I'm coming over to the run-up area and the hold short area of 27 right. I'm the only one here, so I have a lot of room to play with, but I want to be courteous and not take up too much room. Okay. Go through the checklist for the run-up. Parking brake is set, flight controls free and correct. So my left aileron is up, my right aileron is down, right aileron up, left aileron down. Got clear motion all the way around, and my elevator, and see through my peripheral vision, is moving. That's good. Everything feels normal. Now I'm going to do a throttle, run up the throttle about 3,200 RPM or so, and I'm going to maybe 3,300, and then we will test the magnetos. So I got 3,280, 3,130, 31, okay, so that's a drop of about 140, 150. Now we'll go to the other side, 3,200 down to, that's about 110, that's good. I'm allowed a total drop on the Rotax 912 ULS, a total drop of 300 and a differential drop between the magnetos of 150. So the total drop is around 180 and my differential between the two is about 50 or 60. That's good. Bring the throttle back to 2,000 and continue with the checklist. Flaps position 1, elevator trim is neutral, oil temperature is good. We're still around 55 or so. I need a minimum of 50. Cylinder head temperature minimum 60, I'm at 80, that's good. Altimeter is set to airfield elevation, which is 8 feet, so basically 0. Parachute pin is removed, and we're ready to go over to the hold short line and do the checklist again. And looking around, I've got my, I'm looking just to make sure it is calm, so the windsocks are all showing calm, we have some birds. And I approach my aircraft to the approach end of 27 right to see if there are any aircraft coming. Even though this is a tower-controlled field, we are all ultimately responsible for our own safety, so make sure nobody's coming in. All right, flaps are set and checked. The trim is set for neutral. Transponder is set to alt, and I'll go to the tower frequency. I'll listen for a minute to make sure nobody's on. A minute, just a couple seconds. Tamiami Tower, good morning. This is Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa at 27 right. Ready for takeoff. I'll be in the pattern for touch and goes.
153 Whiskey Papa, Tamiami Tower, make right traffic, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa, cleared for takeoff, 27 right. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the takeoff I like to do, which is the short field takeoff. I like to get up in the air and as high as possible, as quickly as possible. I think that's just a good safe practice. You want to get up in the air as high as you can legally here for the pattern as quickly as possible. And you have options in the case of an engine failure. Okay, pointed straight down the runway, using every inch of the runway. We're going to let it run up to 5,000 RPM, release the brakes. I'm going to raise the nose slightly just to take a little pressure off the nose wheel. At 51 knots, I'm going to rotate and then go to 54. Okay, 51, rotate, set the pitch for 54. Look at us climb. We're going to clear the imaginary pine tree at 200 feet, and there we are, 200 feet. And we'll set the climb for VY, which is 62. I'll trim it just a little, but I don't like to trim it too much in climb. Look at us climb, okay? Look at this rate of vertical speed indicator. I'm at 62, which is my VY, and I'm about 1,400 feet a minute, which is tremendous. I've got 3/4 of a tank of gas and just me, no passengers. So we're going to get to the end of the, we're going to get to pattern altitude right away. And make sure I'm making a straight ground track. A little bit off. So got to angle back. Okay, leveling off. Very good. I'm the only one in the pattern today, so I'm making my crosswind beyond the departure end of the runway. Okay, just did my crosswind, and I only like to take it away from the airport about a half a mile or so, half a mile to a mile maximum. We'll start our downwind. Maintaining pattern altitude 1,000 feet. My airspeed between 70 and 80 here in the pattern. Level off. And there we are. Nice view of the runway. Nice view of the airport.
Papa, run 27 right, clear touch and go.
Flight 43 Whiskey Papa, clear touch and go. Runway 27 right. Maintain pattern altitude of 1,000. I'm in midfield. Looking around, no other traffic. Sometimes the helicopters like to come in, but they announce they're pretty good about that as they transition down the expressway. Okay, I'm going to beam the number, so I throttle back to closed throttle and pitch up to slow down into the top of the white, set 1 notch of flaps and a glide of 54, which is the best glide speed in this aircraft.
Tamiami Helicopter 914 Hotel, good morning.
Helicopter 914 Hotel, Tamiami Tower, good morning.
Good morning, at Reliance with Oscar would like whiskey departure.
4 Hotel, Whiskey departures approved, altimeter 2988, departure turn rest from the ramp, cross runway 13.
914 Hotel.
Okay, so helicopter came on. Okay, now I'm at 45 degrees off the end of the runway. And at 45 degrees off the end of the runway, I'm going to start my turn to base, my right base for runway 27 right. Maintaining 54 knots, my best glide speed. I detect a little bit of the wind out of the southwest here, so I'm going to have to crab back a little bit towards the airport. I feel just getting blown slightly to the east here. So we'll crab back. I'm watching my airspeed 54, which is best glide. I like to trim it for 54 and just a slight nose down. So if I were to get distracted, at least the nose would be going down and we'd have good positive airflow over the wings. Okay, everything's looking good. My turn to finals is going to be at around 400 feet or so. Or thereabouts. That's what I aim for.
Tamiami Tower, Ram 60, good morning. Holding short 27 left for runway inspection.
Add just a little bit of power here.
Ram 60, Tamiami Tower, hold short, runway 27 left.
And we're turning to final for runway 27 right.
60.
For our touch and go.
Maintain. 4 Hotel, transponder appears inoperative, reset.
4 Hotel, reset.
All right, so we're 350 completed final. We're a little low, as we can see from the VASI lights there.
There's 315 Juliet Romeo, Tamiami Tower, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am. 315 Juliet Romeo is holding short, 27 left.
5 Juliet Romeo, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. What's wrong with them radios?
Which radio?
I don't know. It was me. I'm okay. Thank you, sir.
Roger.
Okay, putting in a second notch of flaps. And we get a little bit of buoyancy. You see we got more lift, so I'm maintaining an airspeed.
4 Hotel, transponder still appears inoperative.
Maintaining an airspeed of 50.
I'll report it on my way back.
Roger.
Like to do 45 and 50 with 2 notches of flaps.
Alright, 6 to proceed on the runway 27 left.
Roger, 27 left, 60.
All right, and I'm looking straight down the runway. I'm looking at the end of the runway. That's where I'm going to aim my aircraft, so I'm just a shade to the right. Okay, coming back over, 45 knots. And coming in, and I'm just going to start a gentle flare, pick up the ground effect. I feel the ground effect coming in. And continue to flare. There's the landing. Okay, go to 1 notch of flaps. Full throttle. And rotate at 51. And 150 feet, take the flaps out. Here we go. In the upwind of 27 right. My best grade climb speed is 62 VY. We'll lock it right in there. We get about 1,400 feet a minute. That's terrific. Gotta love the Rotax, 912 ULS, 100 horsepower.
5 Juliet Romeo, contact departure.
Departure for 315 Juliet Romeo. See you guys this afternoon.
So climbing out 1,300 feet a minute. Getting up to 1,000, which is our pattern altitude. So we go set our pitch, our power, Turn crosswind. We're beyond the departure end of the runway and we're not following anybody. And airspeed between 70 and 80. And flying our crosswind about a half mile to a mile north.
3 Whiskey Papa, runway 27 right, clear touch and go.
Flight 43 Whiskey Papa, clear touch and go, runway 27 right. There we are, another beautiful day. Let's see if we can see that helicopter taking off. He's probably already gone. We had another aircraft over on the other side.
Navy Tower, helicopter News 1.
News 1, Tamiami Tower.
Morning, about 5.5 to your northwest, following the Don shoulder to the south, will be north, and we hit the turnpike 500.
News 1, proceed as requested, altimeter 2988.
Okay, we're opposite the numbers. Throttle back, pitch up to slow down. We'll get it into the white, which is our flap extended range on the airspeed indicator. Put in 1 notch of flaps. We'll trim for glide in 54, which is our best glide speed again.
Tamiami Tower, ramp 60 clear, 27 left.
Ramp 60, proceed on the runway 31.
Roger, 3160.
And on our angle, on our best glide speed of 54 knots, we like to have two fingers between the top of the cowling and the horizon. That gives us a good view down. So we're gliding that way. We want to keep our nose down in a glide, so we don't stall in a glide. That would be a very bad thing. Okay. So we're crabbing a little bit into the wind. Even though we're calm on the ground, the winds are setting up and you can feel them up here. They're probably 5 or 6 knots from the southwest right now, so I'm having to crab to maintain a straight ground track. And as you all saw as I approached final, I had the 2 red lights on the VASI, the prisoner, or it's a precision approach path indicator, or a VASI. I get them mixed up. Anyway, lights, if I had white and red combination, that would be just great. So here we are. We'll go in and we'll turn final at 500 feet. And that will assure us that those are set, I believe, for a 3 degree rate of descent. And there we are. We've got, 460 feet, turning final, and we got red and white. Okay. We're not supposed to depend upon those, of course. Turning final, runway 27 right, 54 knots. Everything's coming in. I'll need to maintain a little power. Keep it trimmed for 54 and slightly nose down. Look at this, just hands off, 54, straight down. See that? That's what you want to do. Now I have a little bit of a wind from the southwest, so it's going to blow me over. The plane is weather vaning naturally a little bit. It's sort of pointed to the left. But as I get closer to the ground, that's going to disappear. And there won't be the weather vaning effect, and the nose will naturally want to come down around a little bit, setting the trim for a little more nose heavy.
Ramp 60 clear, 31.
I put in
60, hold short of runway 27 right.
Put in a second notch of flaps.
Short 27 right, 60.
Airspeed of 50. A lot of wildlife around here now. Lots of distractions on final. A lot of birds. I saw an alligator in that pond once. Okay, coming straight down, looking straight down the end of the runway. That's where my eyesight is right now. And I'm coming right into a little bit of a flare, picking up ground effect, and flaring the nose up a little bit. And we should, barely felt that one. Wonderful. Okay, flaps from 2 notches to 1 notches, full power. Straight down the runway, rotate at 51, set your pitch for 54. And here we go. Climbing out at 62.
Ramp 60, proceed on the runway 27 right.
Roger, 27 right, 60.
are 62 and 1,400 feet a minute. Not bad. Okay, we'll climb it out. And we are up at altitude in just a second or two, beyond the departure end of the runway. And power back. We're at 1,000 feet. We start our crosswind. Kind of a hazy day. It's pretty humid today. It was like 79 degrees. Well, we saw the temperature this morning. Very, very moist. Okay, I've got to crab a little to the left to maintain a straight ground track. Make our turn to the downwind. Wait for the call from the airport, from the tower. Whoop, gained a little altitude. There we go. And I've got some a little bit of moisture on the windshield. But the rain's not going to be very strong. Now he hasn't called me, so I'm going to call him. And Tamiami Tower, Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa. Beam the numbers for touch and go 27 right. Okay, well,
I'm... Sport 3 Whiskey Papa, runway 27 right, clear touch and go.
Light Sport 3 Whiskey Papa, clear touch and go, runway 27 right. Okay, that was a little distraction there.
Tamiami Tower, M60, clear 27 right, thank you.
60, roger, ground 121.7, have a good day.
There's an example of how a communications delay from the tower sort of distracted me from setting my flaps appropriately at the appropriate time, about 5 seconds late. So I'm going to be a little higher, so I'll set my turn to base just a little sooner, or, well, a little later. Turn to right base, we're headed southbound. Level off. Got to keep my airspeed at 54, which is my best glide. And the slower I go, of course, the more I have to weather vane, more I have to crab. So we're headed southbound along 127th Avenue at 600 feet. Couple of drops on the windshield, but nothing doing as far as serious precipitation. Nothing on the radar. Engine's working really well. We flew up to Sebring yesterday to have a carburetor check. Overhaul, they cleaned it and resynchronized the left and the right. Okay, turning final, 54 knots. Got my hand on the throttle in case I need a little bit of power, and I do need a little bit of power. 400 feet, turning final. Little on the low side, so I need to maintain my power. This aircraft has a glide ratio of 13:1, which is about twice what the Cessnas have.
Miami Tower, AGF 167 at runway 27 left, ready to take off for the southwest. I'm a student pilot.
Uh-oh.
AGF 167 to Miami Tower, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
All right, so here we are.
AGF 167 at runway 27 left.
So I've got my second notch of flaps in. I've got a great view of the runway, as you can see. That's what I like. And I'm looking straight down to the end of the runway. And I want to put the airplane right down the middle of the runway. I don't want to go to the left side or the right side. I want to go right down the middle. But those Airbus captains have to practice, otherwise they'll shear their wings off, as they have been known to do. Or run into other airplanes. So you want to go right down the middle of the runway. So I'm coming in at 50. I'll be between 50 and 45 knots. Nice and gentle. I'm set up right with the middle. I'm looking right at the end of the runway, the far end. Okay, as we come in, we're going to get ground effect for 45 knots, and I'm just starting to flare gently, playing with ground effect. Oh, feel that ground effect. That was amazing. Okay, from 2 notches to 1 notch, full power. 51 knots, rotate, set the pitch for 54, which is VX. 150, 200 feet, set it for VY 62, climb out at 62 knots, and that's going to give us 1100, 1200, 1300 feet per minute. That's sweet. 1400 feet per minute, 62 knots VY. We'll be at pattern altitude in about another 10 seconds. Well, maybe 20 seconds. Turn our crosswind. I'm going to ask him for a short approach, which should be a simulated emergency landing. And Tamiami Tower Light Sport 153 Whiskey Papa, request a short approach on this touch and go.
Sport 3 Whiskey Papa, short approach approved, runway 27 right, clear touch and go.
Light Sport 3 Whiskey Papa, clear touch and go, 27 right, short approach approved. Okay, here we go, engine is out. Oh my goodness, what do we do? First thing we do is we pitch the airplane and set up the glide speed. Okay, we've got glide speed 54. Okay, we have an idea where we're going to land. Okay, what's next? Fuel pump. Turn on the fuel pump. Da 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 da. Okay, fuel lever is, or fuel valve is on. Fuel supply is good. All right, let's try starting it. Forget it. Not going to start. Okay, so we're going to land over there. Got an eye on that. All right, turn off the fuel pump. Turn off the fuel pump. Turn off the fuel supply, turn off the ignition, report. You'd say, Tamiami Tower, Light Sport 3 Whiskey Papa, declaring emergency, power failure, and he'd clear us to where we want to go. All right, snug up the seatbelts, make sure the seatbelts are snug, and look for the end of the runway. And one thing we want to do on an emergency landing, we want to make sure we have plenty of altitude for where we're going to go. So here we are. We're going to turn our base here on our short approach. We're going to, if anything, we know we're going to end up with surplus altitude, so we'll put a little slip in there. And then we're going to land with 2 notches of flaps to keep a minimum airspeed. Of course, then we'd turned off the radio too after we communicated with the tower, so we'd have no fuel, pump on, nothing on. Okay, so I'm gliding in, 54 knots. 1 notch of flaps, best glide. That's another reason to practice your best glide on every maneuver in the pattern, because it's also your emergency glide. Now we have lots of surplus altitude, so we're in good shape. Okay, turning to final. I'm going to put a little slip in after we turn to final. Oh, there's a bird. All right, I'm going to put a slip in to get down to lose altitude. I'm going to do left aileron, right rudder, because we have our wind coming from the southwest. I'm maintaining an airspeed that's respectable, 54 plus. Okay, coming around in. Now I gently bring it around. Okay, we're in great shape. Look at that runway. Okay, I'm going to put in a 2nd notch of flaps. That's going to give us a better sight view of the runway. And then I land at minimum possible airspeed. I'm at 45. I'm at 40. Beautiful. Okay. 1 notch of flaps. Full throttle. Rotated 51. Set the pitch for 54. 200 feet. Set the pitch for 62. Best rate of climb. This will be our last one. Climbing out, 1,400 feet a minute again. That's going a little slow. Don't want to go 60. We want to go at 62. That's right, 62. Speeding up. Okay, we're beyond the departure end of the runway. Get to 1,000 feet before we turn crosswind, which is what the rule is at Tamiami. Set the pitch. Power. And we'll trim it up here in a minute. Very good. So as you know in the pattern, anytime you find yourself varying either one side of the altitude of your airspeed, it's all about how you make your adjustments, knowing where you have to be, and then make the appropriate adjustments to get back to where you're supposed to be.
Let's support 3 Whiskey Pop, you want a short approach?
Affirmative, short approach and a full stop.
3 Whiskey Popper, short approach approved, runway 27 right, clear to land.
Light 43, Whiskey Papa, clear to land 27 right, short approach approved. Okay. Same thing again. Oh, engine's out. Trim for glide in 54. Okay, where are we going to land? Over there. 54 knots, trimmed. All right, first thing we do. Fuel pump, or fuel pump, turn it on. Fuel supply is on, fuel level is good. Okay, maintain our glide at 54. Hit the starter. Not going to work. Okay, fuel pump off. Fuel supply off. Ignition off. Contact the tower, emergency, no power. They'll clear us to land 27 right. And then turn off the radio. The rest. Check your seat belts, make sure they're snug. And we're on our way. Make the best landing of your life. So here we are turning base around 700 feet. I want to maintain the surplus altitude again to make sure that I have it. I don't want to be too low. I'd rather be too high and slip rather than be too low and try to stretch.
Tamiami Tower, ADF 174, holding short 27 left, ready to take off northwest departure.
ADF 174, Tamiami Tower, 127 left, clear for takeoff.
Takeoff, and I left ADF 174.
Glad to take off 27 left, ADF 174.
Okay, there's the instructors on there. Okay, and this is our last one, so this is a full stop. So we're gliding 54. As you can see, we're very close. That's good. We have lots of surplus altitude. And we got lots of other places to land around here at the airport too. There's lots of grass. Okay, I'm going to do a slip in. There we go. Let the nose down. Put the brakes on. Oop, not good. Well, we'll just roll it out. Alpha 2. Roll it out. When the flying conditions are so favorable, The air is just wonderfully gentle in the morning. Here comes a plane.
Tamiami Tower, Super Cub 335, Papa Alpha.
Super Cub 5 Papa Alpha, Tamiami Tower.
Yes, sir. We just left Lindbergh. We're going to fly around here to the south.
Super Cub 5 Papa Alpha, roger. Altimeter 29er 89er at Tamiami.
325, Papa Alpha, thank you.
Flight support 3 Whiskey Papa, clear of 27 right.
Ground point 7, have a good day.
3 Whiskey Papa to ground point 7, thank you. All right, here we go. After landing, throttle 2,000 RPM. Flaps position, flaps neutral, trim neutral. Flaps trim neutral. Transponder to standby, parachute and parachute pin. Where'd my parachute pin go? Here it is. And we'll go to ground control. Tamiami ground control, light support 153 Whiskey Papa is at Alpha 1, going to spot 2.
Light support 153 Whiskey Papa, Tamiami ground taxi to the ramp Alpha, good day.
Light support 3 Whiskey Papa, I'll taxi to the ramp Alpha, thank you. Okay, here we go. Taxi to the ramp via Alpha. And there's another plane that we're following right there. Don't recognize him. But he's over here on this runway, so he's probably going to do touch and goes. It looks like they're working the departures over on the south side, and the practice will be over here on the north side. Well, the engine's working beautifully.
Tamiami Tower, good morning, IDF 140. I just want to make sure this is spot 2 or is the next one?
Carburetors are synchronized.
Want to go to that one or the next one, sir?
2, I'm not sure if it is spot 2 or the next one.
Yeah, field service is on spot 2, sir, continue.
Continuing to spot 2, IDF 140.
Okay, so he's going to the gas pumps. So we'll just make sure there's plenty of room when we go behind him.
Tamiami ground says 61733.
733, Tamiami ground.
Tamiami ground says 61733, spot 14. With information, Oscar requesting west departure.
733, runway 27 left, taxi via Echo.
61733, taxiing via Echo to 27 left.
Oh, he went in the wrong one. That was him, or is there somebody over here already? Okay, here we are, and we're clear of the taxiway, so we're on the ramp. Taxiing back to the hangar. Going to be a cloudy day, but nice calm air. I won't have much convection kicking in, and the winds that do materialize, as we know, will come from the southwest. So Be pretty calm. Okay, here we are back at the hangar. Let's do the checklist again. Which is we're parking. Parking brakes are set. Radio is off. Transponder is off. Lights are off. Ignition switch. Let's back off the power a little bit. And battery.